Well, guys, I had to come down and witness the Bolshevik show trials for myself. What's going on here is an absolute farce, and anyone in America should be embarrassed at the absolute miscarriage of justice that we're seeing here. There's no crime. The only problem is the witnesses who are experts in these things aren't allowed to actually testify to that because you have a rigged system. You have a judge whose daughter is making millions off of this very case. But you know what? That's not a problem in New York City. We're just going to allow it. When our defense goes after arguably the least credible witnesses in the history of, witnesses, you're not allowed to ask the damning questions of them. The star witness in this case is a 9 times convicted liar, and now an admitted thief. That is who they're hanging the entire case on. The other one happens to be a porn star. Not exactly the ultimate form of jurisprudence here, but that's what you have. And what it's doing is setting a disastrous precedent for our legal system, for justice in America. If it can happen to Donald Trump, and if they will try to do this to someone like Donald Trump with a platform, hundreds of millions of followers, the ability to fight, they will do it to anyone. They have weaponized this system against their political enemies, and they've started to go down a very dangerous and a very slippery slope. This insanity cannot stand. This kind of bias cannot be allowed to happen in the United States of America or anywhere else. If this was going on right now in a third world banana republic, there would be people screaming about it. You people, the media, would be outraged. Instead, because I presume you're fine with whatever the results are as long as it's against Donald Trump, your silence is deafening and it's disgusting. This cannot stand and it cannot allow to continue.
Don, why'd you feel the need to come down here?
I got it. Because you have no choice. Again, I wasn't a political guy my whole life. I may have been a conservative. We used to change the skyline of this city. We built buildings. But once you get involved and you see the disasters created, especially by this current administration, you understand that you have to fight. You have to leave our country to our children in a way that they can recognize it. You have to fight for the freedoms that we have enjoyed our entire lives. They are all at risk right now. They are all on the table, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah, I just want to say, Matt Whitaker, former acting attorney general, equal protection under the law is a most fundamental bedrock constitutional principle of American jurisprudence. What I just saw in this courtroom is a complete miscarriage of justice. We cannot have judges who are wearing the same jersey as the prosecution and are not calling balls and strikes, but are intentionally preventing the defense from defending themselves. We have witnesses that are liars and stealers. We cannot have this in America. And the fact that this is going to most likely go to a jury trial on no crimes, that this is essentially a referendum on whether or not the jurors like Donald Trump or not, is not the American system of justice. We demand better. New York City demands better. We have the most serious crisis at our border that's causing the most insecure terrorism situation since 9/11. We need to wake up to what's important in America, start paying attention to that. Pam?
Thank you. Pam Bondi. Prior to being Attorney General of Florida, I was a career prosecutor for 18 years. I've prosecuted hundreds of jury trials in a courtroom very similar to the one today, yet I've never seen anything like this. A judge is supposed to be a neutral arbiter of facts. First of all, this case was declined by many years from the Southern District of New York, by the Department of Justice, by multiple jurisdictions, yet they bring it on the heels of a presidential election with a convicted felon, a convicted liar, Michael Cohen, who admitted in court yesterday to being a thief. They need to prosecute Michael Cohen now for stealing from the Trump Organization. I've truly never seen anything like this. That judge was sustaining the prosecution's objections, meaning agreeing with them before they could barely get the objection out of their mouth. Listen, all the rights here, I'm a prosecutor, former prosecutor, yet all the rights here go to the defendant because it's his liberty at stake, and that has not been happening in this courtroom. So let's just pray that we have jurors that see through this. When Bob Costello was trying to answer questions on cross-examination today, the prosecutors were cutting him off. They didn't want him to tell the full truth. They only wanted to cherry pick portions of his statements. They weren't letting him answer the question. Prosecutors want the truth out there. You want everything to be heard so the jurors can make a fair and reasonable decision. This case should have never, ever been brought.
If I may, just the point that Don Jr. made, Sebastian Gorka, former deputy to the president. What is Judge Merchan hiding? Here is a 28-page document from the Southern District of New York about what? Michael Cohen and why he is a criminal. This document was meant to be brought up in court. Judge Merchan suppressed it. This is from the Southern District. 28 pages on Michael Cohen being a perjurer and a criminal. What are you hiding, Judge Merchan? Is it perhaps the fact that your daughter has just made $93 million for the Democrat Party? President Trump is being gagged. He's the leader of the opposition. He is the only person who can replace the incumbent senile old man. And we know that this judge is working on behalf of the Democrats. Why are you hiding this document, Judge Merchan? I'm going to put it on the internet today. What are you hiding, Judge Merchan? Sorry, Governor.
No. Dan Patrick, Lieutenant Governor of Texas. So why aren't you asking the question, when is Michael Cohen going to be indicted? He stole $60,000. Do your job. That should be the headline. Number two, Alvin Bragg should be indicted. He brought someone as a witness in a case with someone he knew had committed a crime. He should be indicted. So, headline, please. Where are you, Alvin Bragg? Who's going to indict him? Who's going to indict Michael Cohen? Look, we are here to defend our Constitution, our freedoms, and we're here because we are friends of Donald Trump, the President of the United States. And when a friend is in trouble, friends have his back. The way he has been treated, you would see in Russia, you would see in China, you would see in North Korea, you would see in every little tin pot dictatorship across the world. And that's what we have here in New York, in America. If they can go after the former president of the United States of America, who has the ability and the financial resources to fight back, what happens to the average American? What happens to any of you? If the courts in New York come after any of you because of something you said, because you said something the ruling class didn't like. And that's what all these other countries are about. They shut down the ruling class. They want to be sure that anyone that speaks up against the ruling class disappears. They want Donald Trump to disappear. They want to send him to jail. They want to take him off the main stage because they know here's their biggest danger to taking the ruling class down. No, you know why? Donald Trump is not the ruling class. Donald Trump is for every New Yorker. He's for every Texan, every state. Donald Trump has put his whole life on the line, for the American people. When he came down that escalator, he probably had no idea that he was going to be called to be the man in the gap to stand up for Americans. And he's standing up for you, even if you don't know it. I don't know who's next.
Would a member of the ruling class be facing 730 years in prison? What a pathetic question. 730 years in prison, and he's a member of the elite? That's pathetic. You're not a journalist.
So I want to say, as a former attorney general, as my previous job, and now as U.S. Senator Eric Schmidt from Missouri, I can tell you these charges should have never been brought. There's no crime. The only crime that's been unveiled through this, Soviet-style show trial is Michael Cohen, who stole money, admitted it on the stand. This is the star witness. This is the witness upon which this entire case stands. And as a legal matter, this case is a total joke. In a broader sense, you want to talk about threats to democracy? That's what this is across the street. The idea that the Democrats not only try to keep him off the ballot, Donald Trump, but now throw him in jail for the rest of his life because they know he's going to win in November. And the only way they think they can get after it is this unprecedented lawfare. We have never, ladies and gentlemen, we've never seen anything like this in this country. So I know this can kind of be normalized as you've been covering it. This is outrageous. If this were happening in any country, any other country, our State Department will be warning people not to go to that country because it's a banana republic. And more broadly speaking, let me just say this, from a political perspective, the American people see what's happening. This has added jet fuel to his campaign.
I just want to say real quick, make no mistake about this, we all know this. These corrupt prosecutors and this corrupt judge are nothing more than puppets of the Biden administration and the Biden DOJ right now. You know what? It's a shame. They will do anything. They will lie. They will cheat. They will steal. They will do anything to keep him from becoming president again. They fear Donald Trump. They fear Donald Trump. And they fear what's going to happen if he becomes president again. And I tell you, they should fear, because he started draining the swamp. He's going to keep draining it again. And all of these people are representative of the swamp. The sad thing is today, Lady Justice in the city of New York no longer wears a blindfold. She's wearing the Michael Cohen t-shirt with President Trump behind bars. That's how disgusting this has got to be right now. And it was mentioned before, this is not the kind of stuff that happens in the United States of America. This is Soviet era stuff right here. Everybody out here, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, if you're Republican or you're Democrat, I don't care what your political leanings are, you better look at what's happening right here in New York, and it better scare the hell out of you, because they'll come for you next.
That's right.
Next up.
Hi. I'm Representative Salazar. Probably I'm the only member of this group that can speak in both languages, so I'm going to do that in Spanish when we finish. And I have a few remarks that I think are going to be very interesting to all of you. I represent District Number 27 in Florida, a bastion of the ultimate melting pot in the United States. And I just want to make very clear that I am here of my own volition. I am not on the list of the favorites. I am not looking for a job, and I paid for my own way, just to make sure. And the only reason why I'm here is because thousands of my constituents back in Miami are terrified when the courts in this country are used as weapons to crush our political enemies. Regardless of what you think of Donald Trump, regardless of what you think of him, regardless of what you feel about him, regardless whether you're going to vote for him or not in November, Donald Trump is not the only one going through trial. We all are. And I'm not sure if you know that, but that's the truth. Trump may be the one on the stand today, but the same forces that are manipulating the court system against him today will be after you tomorrow if we do not stop this political circus that we're facing right now. The empirical evidence is overwhelming. And why do I say that? How come a person is being charged and we do not know the charges that are against him are clearly defined? That is all political. That happens in Cuba and Venezuela, not in the United States. How come the federal prosecutors 6 years ago decided not to touch this case, but somehow the state prosecutors in New York decided that it was the right timing? Because it's all political. Why there are no audio recordings? Don't you guys want to hear what's happening? How come there are no cameras in the courtroom? Why is that? Because it's all political. But you know what? My parents are Cuban Americans. They are political refugees. They came from Cuba 60 years ago. And political trials happen in banana republics. In banana republics, not in the United States of America. Thousands and thousands of my constituents, and that is why I'm here, not because I'm one of the favorites, but thousands of my constituents come from those countries, the Cuba, the Venezuela, the Nicaragua, very close to us. And they recognize and see very well when there's a political inquisition going on. They have lived it, they have suffered it, and they escaped it, including my parents. And yet now, we're watching this again, where? In the United States of America. There is something very wrong with this picture. And we have lived it, and that's why I'm here talking to you. The United States, the courts, the laws, the judges cannot be used as political weapons just to silence the other guy because you do not like him. The ballot box is where you fight those political battles, not in a court of law. And in the meantime, I belong to you for 35 years. You should be ashamed of how passively you're sitting.
The Pope. And when do people go? They visit the Pope. What do they say? Pope, what can you do? Would you bless me and my family? That's what they want. They want blessings for their family when they go see the Pope. When people come to Donald Trump's rallies, they're saying, Donald Trump, we need you more than ever before. Our country is burning. The world's on fire. We need leadership. The American people are begging for leadership, and they're asking Donald J. Trump, stay strong, continue to fight for the American people and the Make America Great movement. That's what this is all about. And all the dishonest media, all of you out there, you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it. But I can guarantee damn well to you this. Donald Trump's going to be the 47th president. Donald Trump's going to be the 47th president, and he's going to make America great again. Can you explain your tie?
Don Jr., have you spoken to your father about how he would feel if he is?
So, I don't think any of us have seen a more glaring example of undermining American democracy than I just witnessed in this courtroom and we're seeing throughout this court case. What is the offense? What is truly the charge? I guarantee you the jurors don't know the minutia on whether there were records kept right or if a payment was made properly. It is senseless. Then let's just look at, and frivolous. Let's look at the players involved here. Can you just at least do that? Brag. Go back and look at when he ran for DA. He ran.
We want Trump! 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 We want Trump!
It's a bad for the great constitutional republic known as the United States of America.
I'm confident in Dale Strong from the great state of Alabama. I want to come here to see it myself, so the common people of this country can understand what's going on. It's election interference on a level never seen before. We're keeping a candidate that is leading the Republican Party from campaigning throughout this country. What he wants to talk about is inflation. He wants to talk about fuel prices throughout this country. He wants to talk about why interest rates for those that are wanting to build homes is at 6 to 7%, and people can't reach their dreams. Let's just put it what it is. This is election interference at the highest level so that this candidate cannot tell his story throughout this country. But I'm going to tell you right now, the American people see right through it. I'm proud to be here with Don Jr., Pam Bondi, members of Congress, Senate, my man right here, and I'm telling you right now, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I saw it in person today. It shouldn't be happening, and America's going to see right through it. No, let's answer that real quick. No, he didn't ask me to come here. I came here on my own because I was seeing what's going on. I said, rather than someone else trying to tell me what's going on and someone else trying to tell the people of Alabama what's going on, I came here and I damn sure saw it myself. It is a circus in that courtroom, and I'll promise you, the people are seeing right through it, and Donald Trump is fixed to be the next president of America, and this is going to be part of it.
The former president got the chance to share his story in front of the jury. Why did he choose?
I'm Daniel Webster from Central Florida, and I came here today for one reason. I want to support my friend, President Donald Trump. He's a great man. He deserves an opportunity to campaign. It's not happening. All I saw here is what everybody has said. It's a farce. Unjust thing to bring someone to trial when they've done nothing. So, I haven't seen a person that's committed a crime, haven't seen any evidence that proves the commission of a crime. All I've seen is there's a liar, convicted liar. That's the star witness. And, secondly, a thief. He stole money. Where's the prosecution there? $60,000 is a lot of money. So I know my people, they believe this to be a farce. And I think that we can prove that. If we win that, the key is get him out of the way, let him go campaign, let him become the president.
John, why do you talk to your father about how he would feel?
I think everyone understands that.
Man, what's the reason you got?
Devil.
Just remember,
Go back to your side. Go back to your side.
Devil. MAGA zombies, you're all fucking zombies. The MAGA freak out.
You gotta go home, man.
Home. Devil go home. How much is he paying you? How much you getting paid? Devil go home. 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 MAGA zombie. Devil go home. Devil go home. How much they paying you, bro? Devil go home. Devil go home. How much they paying you? Devil go home. 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 Devil go home.
Indictment. Turns out he's actually a murderer. Murder call. Get your picture. Murder call. 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 You're spitting on me. I don't want your diseases.
Devil.
He's coming. Doug?
Give a clip.
All right, do me a favor.